So this has been our third year running the Global Appathon, which is a global, virtual, and free competition for anyone of any age across the world to build apps for a cause, inspired by one of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. This year, we had 2,176 participants from 141 countries and regions, 69% of whom came from developing countries and emerging markets. So it really goes to show that the power of innovation isn't limited to people who have all of the resources. And today at the Global Appathon Showcase, we've invited 7 projects from students across the world to teach us and have us see what their communities are like and how they're solving real problems in their communities. But before I get to having the students present, I wanted to introduce the judging panel. So we'll have 4 judges today who will be asking the students questions, and then they'll be deciding on 3 special awards, which will be awarded tomorrow. So before that, none of this would have been possible without our global team of volunteers, mentors, and staff. So a lot of them are watching on the live stream, so let's give all of them a round of applause. Thank you. All right, I'm gonna ask all the judges to come down and sit in the front row, and please wave when I call you. So first, we have Dr. Vivian Ming. I think she needs no further introduction. She was just our wonderful keynote speaker. We also have Bill Magnuson, who's the CEO of Braze. He'll be coming down. Braze is a customer engagement platform that helps brands build stronger relationships with their clients. And Bill was also an MIT alum. He was one of the first people to work on App Inventor back when it was still at Google, between his undergrad and master's at MIT. And Braze has been one of our biggest partners and sponsors in providing judges, mentors, and travel scholarships for students and teachers in need. We also have Laura Gray from the Raspberry Pi Foundation. Thank you, Laura. Please come on down. Laura is the Senior Learning Manager at Raspberry Pi Foundation, where she leads research and curricula development for North America. And this is an unsolicited shout out, but Raspberry Pi also hosts something called the Coolest Projects Showcase, which I encourage all of you guys to check out. We regularly, judge each other's competitions, and there's amazing projects all around. And finally, we have Diego Barrero Perez. Diego is the founder of Codular, and he got started with coding about 10 years ago through App Inventor. And he also is going to be demoing an agentic AI tool for App Inventor this afternoon. So please come and check it out. So Karen, if you could give the judges their tablets with the apps preloaded. And while she's doing that, I just want to say to the students, I know for many of you, it's your first time presenting on this type of stage. Don't be nervous. I know that's basically impossible. But I just want to say, you are the experts in the problems and in your projects. We're here to learn from you. You've spent a lot of time in the communities talking to the people that you're trying to help. And this is your chance to just share what you've done. So have a great time and enjoy. So first, I'd like to welcome Ahana Chatterjee from the USA, who will be presenting Food Flow. So please give her a round of applause.
You got it?
Yeah.
Let me just make sure this is working. All right, take it to the screen.
I'll leave it there. Imagine you're standing in a grocery store holding 2 products, trying to decide which is safe for you with your allergy. You're tired and you just want a clear answer. Or imagine a teen whose family just lost their income, knowing food resources that exist nearby, but having no idea where to find them. These are everyday scenarios for millions of families. I built Food Flow because technology can make these moments better. My name is Ahana Chatterjee. I'm passionate about using technology to improve lives. And this is Food Flow. Around the world, 733 million people go to bed hungry each night, and 2 billion live with food insecurity. 1/3 of all produced food is wasted, while so many people go hungry. The UN created SDG 2, Zero Hunger, and SDG 3, Good Health and Well-Being, to close this gap. But 3 problems block the way. People cannot tell when food is healthy, can't find resources when they need them, and waste what they already have. These problems are treated separately, even though they're not. Food flow connects them. Most apps solve one piece. None connect them all. The reality is that food is a journey. You must understand it, access it, and use it. Food flow is the first platform to connect these, from label to table. My app is Food Flow. 3 solutions, 1 journey. The food scanner gives instant label guidance. The food finder map shows nearby pantries and food drives. The AI recipe generator turns available ingredients into healthy meals. Now, let me show you each one. In this scene, my sister scans a snack label using Food Flow's food scanner. The app reads the ingredients, checks with her dietary preferences, and tells her if the food is compliant in mere seconds. Simple, fast, and easy to understand. No guessing required. That's exactly what SDG 3 is all about, helping people make healthier choices. Everyone deserves clear and accessible nutrition guidance. When someone needs food help, the old way means searching multiple sites and hitting dead ends. Meanwhile, one zip code search in Food Flow's Food Finder map surfaces many nearby food pantries, grocery stores, and food drives instantly. By connecting people with nearby resources, Food Flow supports SDG 2. The resources already exist in communities. The gap is access and awareness. Food Flow closes it. Tomatoes and cheese are in the refrigerator. Instead of letting them go to waste, my mom enters them into Food Flow's food scan AI recipe generator and gets a nutritious recipe in seconds. 1/3 of all food on Earth is wasted while people go hungry. Every meal made from what you already have is progress. And that's how one feature can support both zero hunger and good health and well-being. Other apps used each technology separately. The real innovation was connecting them around one human journey. No other app had done that. Food scanner apps don't find food. Food pantry maps don't read labels. I saw that gap and built the bridge. Every feature in Food Flow maps to the SDGs. The food scanner advances SDG 3, providing label guidance for everyone. The food finder map advances SDG 2, making food resources accessible. The recipe generator advances both, turning waste into healthy meals. Food Flow turns these goals into practical tools that people can use every day. There are 733 million people going to bed hungry tonight. 3.1 billion people cannot afford a healthy diet. Yet 1 billion tons of food are wasted every year. Behind every statistic is a person, a child trying to find a meal, a family searching for support. Food Flow turns technology into something simple, a tool that helps people make healthier choices, find resources, and waste less food. Food should be a source of security, not uncertainty. Zero hunger and good health and well-being are not a dream. They are an app away. Thank you.
Hello. I wanted to ask about the AI part on the food scanner. It's fine if you didn't find it, but did you find any strange output when you were interacting with AI and scanning the labels?
What? Can you repeat the question?
Did you find any kind of strange output from the AI when you were scanning the labels, like misleading outputs?
Well, when you scan it, it uses the OCR component to transfer the image into
Okay.
text, and then it sends it to the Hugging Face API to get it like checked by the AI to see if it complies with the given dietary preference.
Okay.
So you have to give that AI a very specific prompt so it does the thing correctly.
Got it. Thank you.
I just wanted to share that it told me that my drink is unhealthy because it has too much caffeine in it, so.
How are the food pantries getting entered into the system? Is this something you have set up, or do organizations, I'm thinking internationally, like if I want to run this in Nairobi, or if I'm going to run this in Myanmar, like is there a way for local organizations to get their information into the system?
So right now in the Food Finder map, I have manually added in locations. So right now it's limited to my community in my local area, but I'm planning to expand it to locations globally all around the world.
Perfect. Thanks.
Where would you go next if you had more time to develop this app?
So next, something I would do is that I would make a community board feature where people could interact with each other in their communities and share recipes or reach out for help if they need any.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Next, we have EcoBin from Thailand. So I know they have some setup to do, so please come down. Yeah, they've brought their invention all the way from an international flight, so it's very cool. I hope you all get a chance to check it out now and also after.
Do you have audio on your presentation? Yeah. Okay, so let's make it.
You'll see the timer right there.
So she does have audio, by the way. Oh, I'm just making sure it's. You guys getting it up there? All right, take it to the screen.
Okay, hi everyone. Okay. Hello everyone, we're Team EcoBin. My name is Nunya.
My name is Nayan. My name is Shisha.
And my name is Kin.
Every year, more than 115 million liters of used cooking oil are generated in our home country, Thailand. Much of this gets dumped, burned, or even illegally reused. This causes critical damage to the environment and public health, clogging our drains, dirtying the air, polluting our waters, and destroying our soil. In fact, just 1 gallon of used cooking oil can contaminate up to 1 million gallons of fresh water. So, we saw an opportunity to convert used cooking oil into biodiesel, a low-carbon power.
Despite this significant opportunity, there remains a crucial disparity in reality. We interviewed vendors from various Thai markets where oil remains key. Some pour their used cooking oils down the drain, while others need to go out of their way to collect oil for up to 2 months before selling them in large batches. So this raises a question: how can something so essential in our lives coexist conveniently with the environment we depend on? This is where EcoBin comes in. EcoBin is an AI-powered smart recycling system for used cooking oil. Our goal is to collect, classify, and recycle oil by connecting local vendors and households to recycling partners, supporting SDG 12. Additionally, we shared this idea on Facebook, and many people loved it.
So this is the flowchart of how EcoBin works. So first, users will bring their used cooking oil to our kiosks. They will then validate their account and pour the oil into our system. And then our camera will capture that input using our Raspberry Pi 5, and then our AI model will classify whether it's actually oil or non-oil. If valid, it is directed to the oil container. If not, it is separate and the user is notified. Then all valid deposits are logged into our app in our cloud database. And finally, all the oil will be sent to oil recycling businesses to be turned to biodiesel and other sustainable fuels. For our AI model, we train a YOLO V11 model on 1,162 images, reaching 99.6% accuracy and 99.5% precision. Reaching this performance required 4 experiments of testing and refinement. Along the way, we encountered problems such as imbalanced training data, varying light conditions, and overfitting due to a limited data set. Although we tried to address these problems using data augmentation and model tuning, this is something we still want to continue on improving in the future.
Here is the newest prototype integrating the Raspberry Pi, AI camera, and water pump. We would have loved to physically demonstrate this, but sadly, after the long flight, oil getting into the internal wiring has caused the pumps to malfunction. With this in mind, we're considering switching from water pumps to valves in our next iteration to improve scalability. Above is a video of our newest prototype in action.
The user pours their oil down here, and then the camera here classifies it, and then the water pumps take it to their respective containers. And that's basically it.
Okay, now onto the app. After logging in, users begin on the home dashboard, which provides a real-time overview of their accumulated points, synced with the back-end database. The platform also features a map which allows users to locate nearby EcoBin units deployed in high-density areas to maximize accessibility. To support user education, the app offers articles on topics such as proper oil disposal methods to promote sustainable waste management practices. Users can track their own EcoBin data through live data feeds synced directly through the hardware system. Lastly, users can track their progress through a point-based model, which encourages consistent user participation.
And to determine or improve our feasibility, it's important we look at our stakeholders. So firstly, is users can earn rewards through trading their points for money or items with partnering companies, and they can even donate their points. As for partnering organizations, they can fulfill their CSR requirements, receive donations, or attract new customers through green marketing. Then we have oil recycling businesses where they get cleaner pre-filtered used cooking oil, which lowers their production costs. And we actually reached out to some in Thailand, and they said they liked our idea because they could conveniently collect used cooking oil and in large amounts at a time. Then the community benefits from better overall cleanliness and health.
Finally, here's how we'll bring EcoBin to life. Firstly, we'll expand the training data with more real user images from pilot bins. We'll then use this to retrain and improve our model. Finally, we'll deploy V2 and scale to a nationwide launch. So far, we've received positive feedback from restaurant cooks and are in discussion with local district government authorities in Bangkok about our idea. Together, let's collect, classify, and recycle. Thank you.
Okay. I have a personal connection because I inherited at home where someone was dumping oil and grease down the sink, and I had to deal with that. So I love this. I wanted to know more about the AI model that you used, what you chose, and why you chose it.
So we chose the YOLO V11 model. So it was a pre-trained model. So the reason why we chose this model was because we're just only simply classifying whether it's actually oil or not oil. So the YOLO V11 model would allow us to classify that really quickly, and it's a really simple way to do that, and it's also pretty cost effective. Yeah.
Thank you.
So many things we could talk about with regard to the bin, although I do have a very brief question about how you power it to drive the system, what's is implemented out in the world. But the other thing is, I like that you went and talked to people about this, but I think what you'll discover once you deploy is people do crazy and unpredictable things. God knows what they will dump down your valves and making life hard for you, or they're willing to walk half a block to dump oil, but not 3/4 of a block, or all these sorts of things. Have any thoughts about how you're going to really go out into the world? I like the idea of collecting real-world data for the machine learning training, but the human part of this, I bet, is in fact your make or break rather than the AI.
So we actually went to talk to like the district authorities in Bangkok, and the problem that we found was that many people can like go out and destroy our bins. So what we thought about that was we're gonna put it into like the district offices, so it's also kept pretty safe. And also we learned that they actually people actually go to these district authorities to pour down like these oil and then let them keep it to recycle it. So I think it will be kept in a safer way.
And another idea is we could start at condos or in neighborhoods so people wouldn't have to go that far, or we could even put it in markets. Yeah.
Have you guys done any modeling certainly like maintenance and upkeep and repair and such would be a big issue, and you want to be able to provide rewards back to the people that are utilizing the system. Have you done much modeling to understand kind of how much room you have once selling the oil, or getting some sort of monetary return for it to be able to fund those repairs and upkeep and maintenance?
So we actually contacted a company that buys these oil and recycle it, and they sell it for they buy from us for about like 7 baht per liter, and then we're thinking of like selling it for like 3 to 4, and we get that like difference between what they buy from us and what we sell, and we're hoping to use that cost to and that money to come and repair what we have. Yeah.
Fantastic.
I actually had the same question, so you just answered it. Thank you very much.
All right, next we have Team SCENAR from the United Arab Emirates. So we can.
I have an adapter. Okay, I'll just keep this here. No. Yeah. What? Oh. All right. Is the mic? Can we just start it?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Mohammed Hamdan Siddiqui.
And my name is Mohammed Hamza Siddiqui.
And we're twin brothers living in Dubai. Together, we built SCENAR.
In an emergency, the first 10 minutes are known as the platinum minutes. They're the window where lives are saved or lost. Yet in our most modern cities, these precious moments are often lost to panic, miscommunication, and the inability to locate victims in high-stress environments. A study showed that with each 1-minute increase in response time, there was a 6% reduction in the likelihood of survival, where after 8 minutes, survival odds slash to nearly 0.
And this leads us to the problem. Delayed and poorly formatted critical information fails to reach first responders and authorities in time. Unfortunately, current solutions only include directly calling emergency numbers, pressing the panic button on your device, and laggy Wi-Fi-powered apps. All of them have their own specialized use cases, but none of them work efficiently and all the time.
So what makes us bespoke? SCENAR is an all-in-one solution that holds all essential information in one place. SCENAR allows bystanders to turn from passive watchers into active and informed community first responders. So what is SCENAR? SCENAR is an emergency app that uses AI to turn messy incident information into standardized report format.
Inspired by the recent region in the Middle East where we live, we built it with multiple more features, such as hospital routing and personal medical profiles. But SCENAR is more than just an app. It's an abbreviation that allows first responders to turn messy information into a standardized report format. It stands for SCENE, what the situation looks like, coordinates, the exact location, exposure, the scale of the calamity, numbers, the scale of affected, access, how first responders can get there, which is handled by the AI, and resources, what first responders can use when they get there.
The primary end users of SCENAR include bystanders and first responders, both of them having their own separate user interfaces inside the app. It's designed so that when every second counts, you and the people helping you have everything they need. SCENAR's core features include AI incident reports, sync details, a Bluetooth beacon, find hospitals, and emergency contacts, all tools to use to your advantage during any emergency. Here's a solution flow diagram of SCENAR. When an emergency occurs, any user has 3 options. They can use a one-tap emergency button, which sends a location, medical info, and an AI incident report to the authorities. Or they can use the Find Hospitals, which locates nearby hospitals with emergency services. Lastly, if they have no internet, they can use the Bluetooth beacon. If there's a first responder nearby, you can start broadcasting your name, a description of your surroundings, and your personal status. Here's the architecture for the Bluetooth beacon. It starts out as SCENAR begins scanning for nearby first responders, which we'll call servers. After it's located a nearby server, it would establish a connection and start broadcasting this information. At the end of this, the first responder would have everything they need to find and cure the person. How would this be used? Step 1, the user would enter all the information SCENAR prompts them to. This would be their name, their personal status, and a description of their surroundings. Then, step 2, once the connection is established, the victim's app will start broadcasting information to the first responder. And after the first responders receive this information, they can go and help out that user.
So the emergency system architecture. When the user enters any instant information, it is sent to Gemini via the Gemini API key. Once authenticated, Gemini processes it and sends back some information. Once the app confirms that no error has been returned and the user verifies all information is correct in the report, it is sent directly to authorities and emergency contacts via SMS. The AI report architecture. The user's instant information is sent via post request to the Gemini API key, which is sent to Gemini. Once authenticated and processed, Gemini returns a JSON object where each item corresponds to one of SCENAR's abbreviations.
The emergency detail system is a system me and Hamza built so that any first responder or the authorities can access the information of any user of SCENAR. They're identified by their personal PIN, which you can see in the second column. This is a screenshot taken from the Google Sheets where all this information is stored. This is vital for first responders and authorities to know because it contains things like their medical history and current medications. The design philosophy of SCENAR rests on 3 core philosophies. First is simplicity. SCENAR is designed to be used by all ages. Then there's the efficiency. SCENAR is designed with minimal taps and more importance in getting that report out. And then there's focus. SCENAR's primary color is red, associated with grabbing your attention. The AI ethics of SCENAR have 3 core principles. First is user verification, in case the AI hallucinates or adds any extra information. Then there's enhanced prompting, so that the AI running SCENAR knows exactly what it's supposed to do with the given information. Then there's AI independency. SCENAR is not completely compliant, is not completely required to run with AI.
Aligned with Sustainable Development Goals 3, 9, and 10, Hamlan and I have a future vision for SCENAR. It's not just a one-time thing. We want to grow into something that everybody knows and uses. For starters, we would like to directly integrate this into emergency dispatch systems by reducing response time and saving more lives. We have already taken the first step by contacting the Knowledge and Health Development Authority in Dubai, where we're from, to see how they can integrate SCENAR directly into civil defense. We're also looking into quick access open for the app, such as saying, "Hey SCENAR," or doing a button trigger, and we hope for offline connectivity for the AI. Thank you for listening.
Hello. I wanted to ask about the Find Hospitals feature. How do you actually know where are the hospitals? Do you call an API or how?
So we actually use the Gemini API because that directly connects with Google Maps. So it would find that route, and then it'll give in a data packet that SCENAR can actually understand and turn that into location markers.
Okay, thank you.
How did you guys think about managing user privacy for things like private health information and
So Google Sheets actually, so the way it works is that Google Sheets is set to private so that only SCENAR can communicate and read that Google Sheets. And the way it works is that we've connected the Google Sheets API from Google Console, and that basically talks with SCENAR where you can edit and read the information so that their information is not disclosed anywhere else.
But how do you think about like first responders being able to access it? You shared a slide that showed first responder access to a bunch of information.
Yeah, so it's only with the user's permission because they're identified with their personal PIN. So only if the user has actually provided their personal PIN would they be able to access that.
To add on, the only way the first responder can actually get the information is only if they're in an emergency and they use the Bluetooth beacon. So you're only able to broadcast your unique ID, your unique PIN, if your Bluetooth beacon is on. So the first responder only has your information when they need it.
This got me thinking about something I had mentioned that I got this early release pair of Google Glass. So this has a camera and audio, and one of the things we came up with was virtual EMT. And this is the right city for it. It just so happened that I did this just after the bombing at the Boston Marathon. And the thought was, what if people who are right there, but maybe didn't have specialty training, could provide first responder services? And then get live connected to an emergency room where they could get advice on how to respond. I noticed that you have, obviously, the people who might be suffering a health condition, and then you have formal first responders. Have you thought about creating a system, since we have that precious 8 minutes, by which maybe anyone nearby could somehow contribute to this person's health, like getting them to a true first responder or just providing very basic services through the Bluetooth broadcast feature?
So yeah, as I mentioned, the app allows bystanders to turn from passive watchers into active and informed first responders. So you don't have to be a first responder to open the app as a first responder. You are allowed to open like that. So suppose you're a bystander and there's an earthquake happening, or there's a bomb that fell in your building, and you survived, and you have the capabilities to help someone else. You can activate first responder mode, and you can use the Bluetooth beacon to find other people. And then also when you're the victim, the AI not only turns the instant information into a standardized report, it also gives guidance.
So I come from an area that's in rural Georgia, and we don't have a lot of hospital networks. So on some occasions, it's actually better to go to a hospital that's farther away because they can actually treat the condition that we're working with than it is to go to our local hospital. Is that something your app could take into account based on the condition and what's happening, getting folks to the right location?
I mean, yeah, definitely, because we don't actually look for the Google Maps hospital pin directly. Instead, we ask Gemini to connect to Google Maps and then look for it. So Gemini could run through exactly what conditions you have. So like if a certain hospital does not treat intensive care for pediatrics, intensive trauma, so like when you break your arm, Gemini could take that into account and look for hospitals that do that.
Thank you. Next, we have Kokyo from Japan.
Hello everyone. My name is Karen Kochi from Kansai Soka Senior High School in Osaka, Japan. Today, I'd like to introduce an application called Kokyo. This app aims to help people transition from a state of eating alone, which we call koshoku in Japanese, to enjoying eating together, which we call kyoshoku. Combining these two words together, I named my app Kokyo, which also means hometown in Japanese. My family originally lived in Okinawa. Last year, my brother enrolled in a school in Tokyo, and I moved with my father to Osaka for high school. My mother stayed in Okinawa, caring for my grandparents every day. But unfortunately, both of them passed away in the same year. My mother felt a deep sense of loss. She lost her appetite and cried from loneliness. Her cooking also decreased, and there were days when she only ate snacks. My mother shared how she wanted to meet her family and eat a meal together, but she thought it might be troublesome because everyone is so busy. Being forced to eat alone is called unwanted solo dining. I wanted my mother to smile and be happy, so I developed Kokyo. Kokyo has just 3 functions. First is proposing a schedule. Second is generating a nutritional score of our meal. And finally, it suggests conversation topics. First, Gus reads each family member's Google Calendar. Then, AI suggests 3 times when everyone is available. Look like this, and just by tapping the share button, my mother no longer has to worry. The second is nutritional scoring. The function is used while eating together using a video call app like FaceTime. And push the photo button. Next, push the scoring button. The AI checks 7 food categories with a Japanese traditional nutritional balance. Mago wa yasashii. The score is shown like this. I wanted this as a fun conversation. The app also provides advice for the next meal. The third one is the topic roulette, which provides conversation starters. Press the start button. The AI suggests topics. It creates conversational opportunities at the dinner table, such as recent events or memories. Kokyo helped my mother improve her nutrition and find the joy of cooking again. This let me think, could Kokyo be useful for more people? The World Happiness Report 2025 has shown that sharing meals contributes to human happiness across cultures, but Japan ranked 133 out of 142 countries. I visited a kind of soup kitchen to promote sharing meals using this app. They showed great interest and introduced me to local community support members. From there, dialogue began with them. The dialogue inspired the future, the topic roulette, which helps start conversations. Because I realized that emotional exchange during our meal is important. Furthermore, I gave lectures at the Osaka Community College, and I exchanged ideas about Kokyo with them. Then I realized that online connections alone are not enough, and that communal dining spaces are also needed for the elderly. So I am currently consulting with city council members in creating spaces for multi-generational dining. Additionally, I conducted a survey of 172 people, and the results showed high expectations for Kokyo as a support system against unwanted solo dining. Eating alone is a choice for some people, but I do not think eating alone is bad. But I want to help people like my mother. Through this project, I hope that many people will experience the joy of sharing meals. I want to make this project a reality with local communities, companies, and governments. I hope no one will be left behind and that smiles will spread to dining tables all over the world. Thank you for your attention.
If you expand to communal dining places, how will you make sure the people invited to the table are in a safe environment?
I want to go to the city hall, and the city hall member tell to other citizen to we have this kind of multi-generational dining, so let me come and let's eat together. Thank you.
I was wondering, as I noisily ran the topic roulette here, whether, I know this would be a little more privacy invasive, but whether it's possible to use the AI to explore sort of shared topics. So if some younger people and some older people might be meeting for the first time, could the AI find something both want to talk about rather than something by chance?
In this app, I put in the AI to just for the family. For this app aims to just my family now. So if we use at the all of generation, I want to change the prompt, AI prompt, and talk with enjoyable.
I think apps just for your family are great.
I love it. Helping more people be able to dine together and connect is a fantastic use case for this. I'm curious on the nutrition balancing. It's also amazing to see the Japanese culture in the different nutritional balance standards. And they seem better than the food pyramid here in the United States, in fact. And I'm just curious how you thought about the design. I also noticed the sound effects and other things. Like, what were the different inspirations that you had for the kind of culturally inspired design components inside the application?
So it means the Japanese culture. In the nutritional scoring, I know I already know about the Japanese culture nutritional standard, mago wa yasashi. So I don't know the different of other countries, but I put this prompt to the AI.
Okay.
Hello, I just have a quick one. Did you test this in a specific part of Japan or across all of Japan already?
I'm from Okinawa, and now I'm living in Osaka. So in Osaka, at the local community, I talk with them directly, but In Okinawa, I talked with them also at online.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. Perfect.
Thank you.
And next we have Oikos, Eco Health Companion from Puerto Rico.
All right, do you guys have that up there? All right, go ahead and take it to screen.
Hello everyone, my name is Ana Lucia. I'm 14 years old and I'm a rising senior from Puerto Rico. Today I'm really excited to present to you Oikos Eco Health Companion. I want to start with a simple question. What if the air that we're breathing right now isn't safe and we don't know it? Well, actually 99% of us, around 99% of us, are breathing polluted air. And this is something that causes millions of people suffering from chronic conditions such as diabetes, dementia, heart, lung, and other respiratory conditions, including COPD, and other diseases. So this is a problem that affects us today, and it will keep affecting us in the future. Actually, air pollution is the second leading cause for early death, and only surpassed by high blood pressure. So this causes around 7 million deaths every year and millions in economic losses. So this is a problem we cannot keep ignoring and we should take action. Let's meet Isabel. She's a middle-aged woman who was recently diagnosed with severe asthma that keeps getting worse. However, she does not connect the dots between her condition and a factory close to where she lives that emits a lot of pollutants, because all she sees are just confusing numbers and confusing data in some pollution maps around. This is something that many people live. I conducted a survey with people of all ages in Puerto Rico, and around 25% of the people I surveyed does not know about or does not use any type of device to control pollution. And more than 70% has never checked air pollution data in their area. However, around 72% would like to have a tool that helps them understand how air pollution affects them and their family. Also, as the founder of a nonprofit organization about environmental education with a focus on STEAM, I see the need of tools like these for not only for families, but also for researchers. So that's why I created Oikos. Oikos Eco Health Companion is an app that helps users understand the connection between air pollution and human health, helping them track their symptoms and also see what they can do in their communities. Let's explore the features. This is something very important because unlike other apps, Oikos permits and allows personalized profiles, which means that people can describe their age group, their conditions, health conditions, and also the type of environment where they live. Meaning that AI can then take that information if they want, so it's controlled by the user, and AI can take that information and have personalized recommendations for them. It is a simple, mostly offline interface, and where people can explore real-time pollution data in their area, taking sensors. I have an API integrated in the app that has sensors that identifies the location of the user, and then it takes the closest sensor to them, and it gives them that information through a simple interface, as you can see with the traffic light signing. Also, they can have health symptoms tracking, which means they could log through the symptom logger, they can log how are they feeling and also what type of work they did during that day, and they can save it on the records page for future doctor visits, and then they can have all that information in order to identify patterns. And I was earlier mentioning recommendations. This is actually something very important. My app focuses on giving actionable items for people, not just general recommendations, personalized ones that they can take and implement right that day. Because since they have already the information, they know they have that health risk, they can get these recommendations and they can actually do things that can help them and help prevent negative effects on their health right now and in the future. I tested and presented this app to my mentors and other experts specifically in the field of health, and some of their comments were that this app could be excellent and could have a great impact on research, which is something very important because right now there's I identified that there's a really big gap in data collection about air quality, specifically in vulnerable communities who need it the most. And this is an app that could help bridge that gap. But also having the potential of impacting lives, because by giving users a platform like this, where they can not only identify if they have a health risk aligned to their health conditions, but they can also see what they can do, not only for themselves, but also for their communities and the earth. They can be change makers, and also they can make smarter health decisions that could help them obviously have a healthier, a cleaner air in their homes and in their environments. So this is something very important that can contribute specifically to 3 United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. The number 3, good health and well-being, number 13, climate action, and number 11, sustainable cities and communities. However, I believe that if we have a clean environment and a clean air, that is one of the first steps in order to achieve all United Nations SDGs. Looking into the future, I would like to keep optimizing and developing this app. In fact, after the hackathon ended, I continued developing this app, adding more features to make it more user-friendly and also more complete. And also, I would like to have that community impact. I'm already talking with different experts that are working with air quality in Puerto Rico in order to install air quality monitoring sensors, specifically in these vulnerable communities who don't have that data, in order to bridge the gap, so that the app could work better, so it has more accurate information, but also contributing to research projects with all this data collection, and trying to identify diseases connected to air pollution in where they live. And obviously reaching the next level, officially launching Oiko's Eco Health Companion. Thank you so much for your attention, and I would like to leave you with the thought that oikos is the means in Greek that it's our global home and our community, but also family. So I would like to have this app working for people, impacting lives, so they can be safe, their families and their communities could be safe in order to complete a better environment and a better health. Thank you so much.
So we only have time for one question. So does anyone on the panel have a burning question they'd like to ask?
I'm just curious, in your research and in talking with people, do you think that more knowledge is needed about indoor air pollution or outdoor air pollution?
I think they would need information about both. However, in the app, they have recommendations on how to control indoor air pollution, because also, like, if they can control their pollution inside their houses, they can have like better health from the inside. But also, like, if they have information from the area, then it can help them identify in general how is the data. So definitely it could help having in the area specifically for research in the communities, but also for
those users who have like really high levels of air pollution in their house, it also has recommendations for them.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
So next we have Hero from the USA.
Hello everyone, I'm Alina.
I'm Audrey. And I'm Alice.
We are the team Hero. Our app Hero uses AI to support children with hearing impairments by helping them practice listening, speaking, and pronunciations outside of therapy.
Do you know how many times a 3-year-old child may need to practice before learning a new word? Well, for my younger brother Eric, it can take hundreds of tries. Eric was born with a hearing impairment, and even after receiving cochlear implants and gaining the ability to hear, learning to speak has been an incredibly difficult journey. Every word takes effort, repetition, and continuous therapy. Even with love and patience, helping him practice was still incredibly hard, and watching him struggle has been heartbreaking. That is why I kept searching for a better way to help Eric. Eric is not alone. According to the World Health Organization, more than 34 million children worldwide live with disabling hearing loss and faces similar challenges.
Hero has two main components, the patient portal and the doctor portal. In the patient portal, there are 5 main tools: listening, speaking, lip movement, progress, and feedback. This makes practice simple while still giving useful support. For listening practice, the user can first listen to an audio clip and chooses the word they hear. The app then gives instant feedback, tracks points and streaks, and help retry difficult words. For speaking practice, the user can first listen to a model sentence, record themselves, and submit it for scoring. The app will then show the results so they can understand how clearly they pronounce it. For self-practice, the user can type in their own word or sentence instead of using the preset examples. This makes practice more flexible and personalized. For lip movement practice, the user can record a short video while saying a word. The app will then analyze their mouth movement and gives feedback on how the sound was formed.
On the technical side, we used MIT App Inventor to build a user interface quickly and back-end Python APIs to handle the heavy computational processing like MediaPipe face mesh for lip movement tracking. For our speaking practice feature, the speech system breaks speech into smaller sound units, compares the user's pronunciation to the target, and scores accuracy, fluency, completeness, and prosody. For this feature, we used Azure Speech Pronunciation Assessment. For our lip movement practice feature, we designed a multi-modal API that uses Azure Speech Pronunciation Assessment, MediaPipe face mesh, and libraries like G2P-EN and CMU-Dict. It combines text, audio, and video signals, and aligns expected phonemes, recognized speech, and tracked mouth movements to provide feedback.
But that is only a few parts of Hero. Today, its patient portal also contains 2 additional features: My Progress to track performance over time, and Patients Feedback so patients can load doctors' feedback and reply with questions or updates. For the doctor portal, there are 4 main features: Message Parent for direct communication, therapy plans to assign daily practice tasks, patient's progress so they can track performance over time, and doctor's feedback, where they can load patients' performance and rate them in 4 areas from 1 to 5 star.
To validate our app, we tested it with real users, and we've seen very encouraging results. For example, Eric used to repeat flashcards hundreds of times, often losing focus just after 10 minutes. With Hero, he can now learn similar words in just 20 to 30 attempts, stay engaged for over 30 minutes, and practice independently, making home learning much more effective. In the end, this is about reaching more families.
Making support easier to access and helping more children to find their voice, no matter where they are. Thank you.
So, as chance would have it, in my PhD, on the theoretical neuroscience side, I built a system that learned how to hear. And for my psychology PhD, I built it into a cochlear implant. And then we looked at older adults learning how to hear. So I think this is great. But one of the things that you might actually have access to, and I don't know if you're incorporating it yet, is the actual hearing profile. So your brother's hearing profile, for example. So you could note which types of phones and speech might be more or less difficult, because that's all these wires go into your cochlea. The doctors don't really know which part of the cochlea they're landing on, so it's really hard to know. We build these very complex profiles. Leveraging that could make the system even more efficient. Have you thought about that, or are you already doing it?
No, but we'll think about that.
Terrific.
Improvements.
I had a son in speech therapy, so I could have used this about 2 years ago. It would have saved a lot of money. Have you thought about maybe extending it beyond just learning how to speak? So reading comprehension is a huge issue in schools. How could this be used in a classroom for maybe a second grade teacher?
Okay, so our app was built for like practice speech. So if it's used in a classroom, then I think it can. Sorry, can you repeat the question, please?
It's okay. I'm just thinking if there is another direction that this could take that could listen to students and help foster reading comprehension too. So if it's able to listen to their pronunciations or their explanations, is there an expansion that could be made?
Yes, there is. So our app can like be used with just practice speaking, and not like that situation is also can be used.
You'll really help schools out if you expand in that arena too.
Thank you.
All right, our final team is My Stick from Japan.
Good morning, everyone. おはようございます。We are Rin Tamura,
千穂北野
Anna Kano,
and Ararek Moi from Hakui High School in Ishikawa Prefecture, Japan.
My uncle has one simple wish. I want to go to a restaurant without calling beforehand, just like everyone else. 10 years ago, an illness left him unable to move his feet more than 10 centimeters. Although he can walk now, he cannot go anywhere without his walking stick. Before going out to eat, my uncle always makes a phone call to the restaurant. He asks, "Are there any steps? And how high are they?" Knowing this is crucial in determining his ability to enter the restaurant and enjoy his time comfortably. In Japan, awareness of accessibility is growing. However, most small restaurants in rural areas still have physical barriers such as steps and narrow entrances. Hakui City is one of them. In addition, we cannot find information about these barriers in advance. As a result, many people live with the anxiety of never knowing if they will face difficulty when going out.
Anna's uncle once told us, "I feel so sorry when I ask the busy restaurant staff so many detailed questions
and it takes me a lot of effort. When we had this, we wished that at least during mealtimes, he could forget his worries and just enjoy eating out. That is why we developed an app called My Stick. To build the app, we surveyed 12 local restaurants and collected accessibility information. The app had 3 main functions. The first is a profile registration function. Users can register information about their physical conditions, such as the height of steps they can climb, whether they can take off their shoes, and restroom requirements. The second function is a map search function. When users search for a restaurant, results are pinned on the map. The pins are colored according to how well the restaurants can accommodate the user's accessibility requirements. The pins are colored according to by tapping a pin, users can see detailed information, including step heights, ramps, and photos of the interior. The third function is AI support. The AI compares the user's profile with restaurant information and explains both the available accommodations and points that may require their attention. Restaurants are also ranked by compatibility, making it easier to find suitable places. Through this project, we have already seen positive changes not only in users but also in our community. One restaurant owner told us our entrance steps had been a concern for a long time. Your project encouraged us to finally improve it. We are happy that stores noticed areas for improvement and took action. When we presented My Stick to members of the Hakui City Council of Social Welfare, they suggested that accessibility information should be easily available so that caregivers can better understand. Through this feedback, we learned that information is more valuable when it is easy for everyone to understand.
We also invited students from our high school to join in. At first, some students asked, "Are we really just measuring steps?" However, after experiencing the app and helping with restaurant service, many students said, "I never realized there were so many barriers around us. Accessibility has become a personal issue for me."
Finally, we asked my uncle the inspiration behind this project to use the app. He looked at it and said, "This makes me want to try new restaurant. It feels like my world is opening up."
Now, instead of worrying whether or not he can go, he can happily think, "Where should I go next?" What we were facing was not just physical barriers in front of us. It was the anxiety-inducing information gap. Overcoming the information gap means giving peace of mind to users, encouraging shop owners to make improvements, and inspiring the community. We believe that even these small steps to an accessible community will eventually lead to a society where everyone can enjoy going out without anxiety. We hope this app will become something that changes someone's "I don't know" to "I can go." Thank you for listening. ありがとうございました。
It's more of a comment than question. I would love to see this expanded for people with newborns. My husband could not find places that had a changing room for men, and that would be I'm so sorry, this is long to translate. That would be a difficult thing for him to navigate steps and changing tables for a newborn. It's not a question. You're good.
Thank you very much.
Actually, this is a comment as well, not a question. I was going actually to ask before you showed, like, how about improving the restaurants? But I saw that you already achieved that goal of improving the restaurants, so thank you again.
Thank you very much.
All right, that was it for our Global Appathon showcase. Could we give all of the students a big round of applause? Thank you.